Once we get down to 50, I'll need to grab the gauges. I didn't read it out. I didn't catch it. Okay. Oh. Johan, do you know how to bring up the map over on this side? Do you know how to bring up the map over on this side? Is that engineering? Yeah, on left. ROV nav, perfect. Thank you. Doing great. All right. Systems are coming on.
All stations, that's Herc and Atlanta. Clear of the Nautilus.
Okay, thrusters are enabled. I got a ground fault on phase B. And sticking around 461.
This is an audio slate for Dive Hotel 2106. UTC time is 01-2700.
Cool, tracking came in, cool.
Mark. And topside.
Okay. Okay.
My mezzo run? Oh yeah, please. Oh. I might have to kill that program. Yeah, it's frozen. Good tracking. There we go.
Yep.
Oh, what's my depth? 5'7". Okay, we're gonna do 50, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do 50 whenever you're good there. Okay.
I'll stop.
I'll stop. Res 20. Okay. Comes. Okay. Okay. Bumping it forward. Okay, perfect. Give me a second to finish this. 362. Okay. 118. Got this 58. Is 100. Thruster is 6.
Can we get started down?
Yeah.
At least we'll get the bar or something going.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, heading down. Tess, is there a way to change that to the top of the winch spool so I can keep an eye on that, on those wraps up there?
Let me figure it out. I'll get that.
Okay, thank you. Temp is 40.
What is that PC for? Ah, crap. No, I don't want any of those. Where's our... crap. All right, well.
Sorry, Mike, I'm almost there.
Nope, you're fine. Just whenever you get a chance.
Yeah. And you want it on upper winch?
Yeah, if I can have the upper winch just over the where the big spool is at the moment, just so I can keep an eye on it for this first portion.
Is
Nope. Close.
that was winch upper? Let me look at
Yeah.
winch store, maybe?
Yep. Perfect. That's gonna be it.
But
Great.
I just put it back to mid, but there's nothing there still. The ship, yeah. Yeah, we're doing good. Remotely? Okay.
Ben, once we get past this stuff on the winch, then I can go ahead and increase speed if you want.
Sure.
I just want to make sure that nothing's going to slip.
No worries.
Like that one.
Oh, You might need to focus that upper camera there. Or is
Yeah,
that, or, oh, that's
it's Atalantis.
that's Atlantis.
I'm coming down on the tilt.
Gotcha. I was messing around with the focus last night.
Okay.
Here.
Tilt's there. Huh, that is not pulling in. I don't think that's actually me, is it?
Test, test, test.
No, that's not me. That's your, I think, mid cam.
This one?
That upper one, yeah. That's not me.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yes.
There's a blue shark.
Well,
That's cool.
Blue shark. Where's the shark?
I just swam in and out of the Herc
he just attacked us.
view.
Just attacked us.
Simple attack as usual. Yeah, what do we do with this?
Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
When you get a chat, are all the cameras on?
They are all on, yes.
Thank you.
I think this is your upper, John, is that you?
I'll admit I don't know.
This is the
I
upper
can
here.
look.
Okay, on the top?
It's, yeah, it's just a little out of focus there.
Yeah, let me get them all. Let them get all good.
Okay, I'm happy with the wraps on the winch. If you want me to go ahead and increase, I can. Or
All right.
I love the view when Herc pops over, little
but
forehead
also,
there.
What'd you say, Mike? Sorry?
I'm happy with the wraps on the winch, so we can,
Okay.
if you want, I can start increasing. But it looks like we're at the same delta.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally. That's it. They're all. Wait a minute. They're all basically hundreds of 1,000 meters. So it's kind of like the base of this entire basin. Yeah. That'll be a pretty exciting one. This is another mallard to find. Yeah. 1991.
Tess, we can go ahead and change this back to the normal full winch screen, if we can.
Great. I'll do that now.
Thank you.
I'm trying to mess with this one.
If you want, you can fold this seat. Yep. Okay.
So if you are following us along online here, welcome to our science party line. We just launched our ROVs, Atalanta and Hercules. And if you want to take a closer look at some of the cool things we're doing, actually just an hour ago, we shared a video highlight of us exploring the World War II shipwreck USS Hampton. It's out Northampton.
Who's that?
This is Jonathan. Sorry.
Oh, hey.
Would you
Go
be
ahead
able
and check that out.
to do a little bit of camera zooms for me with your different cameras? I'm on cinema right now. I'm not sure Are we zoomed all the way out or in? And
Should be all the way out. I'll zoom in.
thank you.
Do you want all the way in, 100%?
Yeah.
Or, okay, there you go. That's 100.
There you go. That's sharp. Okay.
All right.
And let's keep this one zoomed all the way out for now.
All the way out, Roger.
Thank you. And mid, please.
Mid. So mid is the one that's currently not transmitting, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
There is apparently the RTSP feed is transmitting on a web browser. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe that's a good.
But that's the link
just
is over here somewhere. We can pull that up for you.
Yeah. Can you? I have it up here on this like mini console.
Okay. So I just zoomed in 100% on that. The camera should be up. It should be running.
Yeah. The camera's gone.
Okay.
Can you zoom out just to test it?
Yep. Here's 100% out.
Perfect. All right. So yeah, we'll keep that one banged all the way in too.
So you want 100% in?
Correct.
Okay. Here we go.
And it looks like I think when we reach bottom, if you can swing the starboard arm outboard, that's the only thing that's currently in frame.
Okay. I'll.
You might not even have to do all the way outboard. You might be able to just kind of point it just a little, maybe at 1 o'clock from the front of the vehicle.
Okay.
The left arm?
Or right arm.
The craft.
Craft.
What's our depth?
Depth currently is 299.
Okay. No. What's our depth? The full ocean depth. What's the depth? 800. Okay. So.
You want bubble cam at
Yeah.
the craft?
I got it here.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, he tightened it up. He'll put like wrench on it. Come on, man. Dude. How's that, John?
1 second. That is good. Good enough. Thank
right.
you.
Yeah.
And the last thing is upper. Can you just confirm it's zoomed all the way in?
You get 100%. There you go.
All right. We're good to go then. Thank you. Reasonably sharp images. That makes me happy.
Okay. Yeah, no jello.
No
this
jello
time.
that I can see right now. I think once we get down, I'll stay just long enough on your watch to get all the way down, and I'm interested to see what it looks like with the porch, or, you know what I mean, the bow box extended all the way out where the cameras are.
Okay.
So if you're just following along, we just launched our ROVs Atalanta and Hercules, and we're off to explore some unknown targets off Salvo Island that have been identified by Drix, which is actually a surface
Joe,
autonomous
hi, I'm Ben.
vessel.
Nice to meet
And that chatter you hear is our fantastic team here in the control room who are
you. Okay, we got.
excited to do calibration checks and are enthusiastically sharing about the clarity that they're seeing in the images. Which I know they got some work done while our ROVs were on board. So
John, you
Yep,
there? Do you
I
want those pushed out too? Or like, is that the idea? We'll be pushing those out on that little lower tray?
Yeah, exactly. So once we get down there, I mean, I've never tested it before, so once we get down and we get eyes on the wreck, we'll do that.
I do, yeah.
Okay.
potential wreck, right? We're not sure yet.
Box open. I'm just going to test it. I'm going to give it a bump here.
Sure.
Oh boy. You know what? I'm not going to I'm a little worried about it being all the way out, having all that weight on that lever arm on that thing. I'm gonna
Yeah,
just halfway
I
a little.
guess, yeah, one time I checked that lever arm and there was a little dodgy bolt on the back. It made me nervous.
Totally, yeah, yeah. I know they've been bending too,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna go halfway.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, but let's check jello.
We're
If you can see.
getting a delta of
Alright,
31 right now,
so
Ben.
I'm on mid. I don't see anything on mid. And on
And
cinema.
then, Jacob, can you zoom in on this, please? Just so I get a little bit better clarity of what's going on with Herc. Yeah, perfect.
I don't see any jello on cinema either.
Thank you.
We may have to. You got. It looks like you. Oh shit! You know what? I didn't zero wraps. I totally screwed that one up. I'm going to tighten this out here, Mike, and then zero wraps. I forgot the zero wraps on there.
Roger that.
All right. Going.
Okay.
But it looks like you still have a wrap in.
Yeah, it looks like I got one to start or to port. Okay.
Gotcha, XY, yeah. Okay. That's okay. Well, we'll keep an eye out on sonar too.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we're going to do a Norbit survey first.
I don't think so.
Oh, good.
Huh? No, Jonathan was saying, was asking if we're doing a Norbit. So I don't think we're doing Norbit. Do we have Norbit running on this? Okay. Yeah, okay, if we find it. It'd be nice to just have it like scrolling. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, marvelous.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Remy.
Oh, hold on. We got NDI back. Looks like Rachel's been poking at
No
it.
way, we got NDI back. Look at that.
On the mid.
What's NDI?
NDI is how we communicate or how we actually see video out of these cameras. It's a network-based video system. Most of the rest of the ROV is through a technology called HDSDI, which is generally the industry standard for reliability. It's physically connected.
Let's slow it down just a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Still above you.
NDI is a
Yeah.
network-based tool, so it's streaming over the high bit rate fiber connection with ROV Hercules. So it's just a different way of getting video up. It's a little bit more finicky, but you can also route it to many different machines without requiring the infrastructure, the physical infrastructure that our engineering team has built into this control van. So what you give up from the reliability standpoint, which is the SDI-based solutions, you gain just a little bit of flexibility, but as you guys can hear, we've definitely been messing around with different things, trying to get it looking good, working well, and pretty happy with the results.
And remind me the name of that again? It was the
NDI.
NDI.
Oh, we lost it again.
Yeah, I just changed the setting. I'm just struggling to figure out what the heck is going on with,
Oh, okay, that was just probably the camera then.
yeah.
What's my depth here?
So one thing you'll see, man, this is actually really cool that this is working. So that camera right now, mid, is fully set up for a kind of immersive filming. So you'll see the aspect ratio of it is using the entire gate of the sensor. So it's recording at full 6K. Now,
Wow, incredible.
I have no idea how the settings have worked out, if I'm being truthful, because usually it's not usually the NDI feed chokes on 6K footage on that particular ratio.
I'm definitely seeing some dithering there, but I don't know if that's the encoder, like, or the picture-in-picture.
Dithering where in this case? We might have some focus mode going on.
So we have 250 meters left to go.
There was someone who had a question about the tether cable between Atalanta and Hercules. And you are correct in assuming that in addition to lowering and lifting Herc and Atlanta, the cable also provides power and data to and from ROVs in the ship.
And the other thing that we could do is we could switch it to 4K until they record video. We could switch this one to the full open gate.
Yeah, but then maybe I have to do switching when I'm playing for our I mean, I think it's upper and lower. Okay. I think it's just, dial something else, and then maybe say upper and
Yeah.
plus two, say 50, and then if we start running the rigging timer in, that'll save the space and it'll save processing time.
If you're tuning in online right now, welcome. We just launched and we're lowering towards an unknown target from was found by our surface
Is
autonomous
that,
vessel, Drix. It's an unknown target. We think could be USS Duncan, but we don't know. But if you really want to see some wreck and you're excited, feel free to tune in. We just posted on our channels a summary highlight video of the USS Northampton. So check that out at UV Nautilus on YouTube.
I'm kind of hoping this is Duncan because it would be a significant find. She was sunk as part of the Battle of Cape Esperance, where Admiral Norman Scott engaged a Japanese Tokyo Express mission. And it was one of the first kind of victories for American forces, and coming so soon after, or a month after the disastrous battle off Savo Island, it was a great morale lifter.
Wow.
Duncan was was the only ship we lost in this battle, so it'd be kind of nice to find her. The American forces were able to sink the heavy cruiser Furataka, which Duncan fired her torpedoes at before she was hit. And they also lost, Japanese also lost a destroyer Fubuki, which was one of the class leaders of one of their larger destroyer classes. So, and of course, Norman Scott then later, about a month later in the battles of November, would lose his life aboard USS Atlanta.
Have we explored Atlanta, or?
Yes, Dr. Ballard found her in 92, 93 when he was here. She actually stayed afloat during the night, and the next morning after the battle, her crew ended up having to scuttle her. She's actually closer into shore near Honiara, lying on her side.
Is it generally easier to find scuttled wrecks because we have a better sense of their position, or?
Not really.
Oh, that's so funny.
Ballard kind of told us that they kind of found Atlanta because of when he first started that expedition, that they knew there was a wreck there because there was an oil slick on the surface, and so it turned out to be Atlanta.
Wow.
So,
Which we haven't necessarily seen on all of our other wrecks, right? The oil leakage.
no, we haven't really noticed any
Got some schmutz
obvious
on there, huh?
leakage or things. So but it is something I look out for.
That certainly makes it a lot easier to find, I imagine, if there's some surface evidence as opposed to scanning and using sonar in this massive process that's underway.
Yeah.
If you, since we just dove, you might not know all of us, but that was the voice of Frank,
was the bottom here?
who's our,
880.
what's your official title for the Navy?
I work for the Naval History and Heritage Command in Washington, D.C. I'm the Director of Collection Management.
Incredible. So we're incredibly grateful that Frank has joined us on board this time as opposed to tuning in remotely as one of our remote scientists. He is a wealth of constant information.
Starting to get to 30-meter delta.
That's all right.
Yep.
Too much.
Trying to catch up to you.
So you're currently hearing the voices of Jacob, and was that Mike?
You're going to win that tug of war.
Yeah.
But Jacob is our navigator, so what he was talking about was a sonar on ROV Hercules. So, a sonar mapper, Jacob has been, over the past few watches, giving us some really incredible detail into how that sonar mapping system works. But the trick here is that we get broad targets from Drix, which is a surface vessel, autonomous surface vessel, that has been moving throughout Iron Bottom Sound here in search of potential sites. Maybe you get a couple data points that tell you it might be a place to go explore. But now that Hercules is in the water attached to Atalanta, which is attached to our ship, UV Nautilus, now we can have Atalanta scan, and since Atalanta is a lot lower, we can get much better images. So that's Jacob. That's just one extra tool for our
All right, we're pretty much even on delta.
pilot and co-pilot here. And Jacob, a whole team truly to give situational awareness to what's going on so that we don't come down on top of a wreck without knowing that it's there, potentially. Hopefully that's a fair assessment.
All right, around about 100 meters to bottom.
Starting to pick up on Atalantas.
Okay, Locke, you want to kind of give an overview of what's happening and where we are, what we're doing, why we're doing it?
Absolutely. So we are in Iron Bottom Sound in the Solomon Islands. That's the big overview, but currently we just launched our two remotely operated vehicles. So that is Atalanta and Hercules. You've been hearing the voices of two of our pilot and our co-pilot, one each on those vehicles. And we are headed to eventually a potential target, which we've been getting from Drix. And we're lucky enough to have Larry here, who
Starting to get a couple
has
beams.
been instrumental in making Drix a reality. Drix is an autonomous surface vessel that's been traveling around mapping the seafloor of Iron Bottom Sound. And over the last, first half of our expedition, they've been giving us potential targets, and those targets are places where we can follow up with better imaging and sonar capabilities and visuals to explore. So that's what we're up to today. We are looking at an unidentified Drix target, and we have some hope that we might be seeing a potentially interesting
Yeah,
ship.
I've looked at the target that Drix found, and it's in a very complicated place. It's on the side of a hill, so it's hard to discriminate something. There's enough there that gives you some hope that there might be something there. We're saying that
Say again?
we're saying that potentially it's the Duncan because
Okay.
it happens to be in
we'll stop
one of the
Coming out of
reported
stick.
positions of the Duncan. But I think what we've learned certainly over the last week or so is that many of the previously what we
might
call
need to bounce back up.
unverified,
Okay,
just
I'll stop at
reports of
5'7",
positions
5'6".
based on
You want me to come back up?
damage
Yeah.
reports,
Okay,
based on
back up.
action reports and things like that have been quite variable, and the verified positions we have come from either the Vulcan dives, the Inkfish dives, or Bob Ballard's dives in 1992, and those we can return to with some confidence. And so we're trying to mix our targets to go to
I'll
some
stop 6'5".
that we know will land on the wreck, and the others which are more risky, but worth the risk because we've had some good payoffs too.
Right, you're talking about the Drix targets where we don't know if it's, you know, a small seamount or something on the seafloor.
Because again, as I've
target.
explained in the past, the Drix in this water depth gives a kind of a very blurry picture of the bottom.
Right.
You want me
We
to
just
go
have
into
to eke
auto
out enough to say, is this something
Say
that's
again?
Do you
compatible
want
with
me
the
to go into
size
auto
of the
heading
wreck
now?
and the height of a wreck, but geology
Yeah.
can do the same.
Yeah, let's
Right.
go ahead.
And last night we saw some
Auto
amazing
heading on.
geologic features that,
And let me know
particularly
when you
one
want
that
me
had
to
the erosion
take
that
wraps out
just
of the
looked
6'8".
I'll do
just
that
like
on-
a
Bow
bow of a wreck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause I'll get on
Unfortunate
bottom,
but
I'll just
true.
drive around.
There are
Okay.
lots of things that look like shipwrecks
Drop it a big-
in
So-
sonar that are
so-
distinctly not.
So we're just approaching the bottom now with a few seconds ago, 100
So
meters
is
off the
it
bottom.
running or what?
In approaching that site that
Okay.
While
had
you're
some
doing that, do you mind if
some
I take
indication that it looked like something,
go for
and
it.
we'll see what it is.
Rennie's back here. Jacob.
We have a question that's very related to this, which is, what does the area of interest sonar maps from Drix look like?
What the maps look like there, well,
We're at 50, yeah.
we now have quite a bit of this area of Iron Bottom Sound mapped already, and they look like a beautiful topographic map.
It makes sense you would find that beautiful. I do too.
Yeah, no, on the scale of tens of meters, and that's the problem. And we're looking for something that just is a small fraction of that. So the goal of our mapping is to show how it would look if you drain the water,
Right.
and to be a topographic map. Thank you. And I think we're achieving that goal quite nicely. That's at a different scale, seeing that kind of topography, the ups and downs, the channels, the small mountains and things like that. Quite a different scale than trying to find a 100-meter long wreck, or smaller.
Or smaller too, and that's if we're looking at ships and vessels, whereas there are planes here, like thousands of planes.
And I think we've known from the beginning that it would be very, very rare if we would, from the surface, from Drix, be able to identify something as small as a plane, both in terms of its height off the bottom, the vertical extent, and its lateral extent.
Absolutely. So that one is more of a incredible luck if that happens.
Yeah,
once we're
or
down
during our
diving.
transit with Norbit. The Norbit certainly, which is close to the bottom and much higher frequency.
And that's Norbit, which is the sonar off of Hercules. So
that's exactly right.
Our remotely operated vehicle in the water that our viewers just saw launch effectively.
Right, and it's the same technology in a sense, just scaled up. So you can get a much higher resolution picture, but cover much less of an area. And you have to be close to the bottom because it doesn't travel, the sound at those high frequencies doesn't travel very far.
Absolutely. I'm excited for when we can get our Norbit back up on the screen for our viewers to see, so they can get a sense of what that seafloor looks like.
You
once we
know,
get it up.
actually, I'm just thinking, I may be able next time I get off watch to, I'll have to talk to Rennie about it, but I think we can take the Drix map we've created and make it the underlay of HYPACK. And I don't know if they're sharing the HYPACK.
We can do that for sure.
Yeah.
That would be incredible.
I'm not sure they're sharing the HYPACK display, but they do sometimes when we show the...
We won't be because of the, on the video at least, because of the lat long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Larry, I'm over here at the chart table. We are on. We are on the mound target here.
Oh, okay.
So we've got a Norbit. We're 50 meters altitude, which is about. It gives us the best swath width.
Yeah.
So what we could do here is kind of do a 360 and see if we see anything.
Let's please do, and I think
they're asking if we can get main camera on stream 2 since we're going down on stream 1.
Rennie, at the Drix target data, it seems to be
main camera of what?
Where they pinpointed it, so you can see it in terms of location.
So sat
it's
one right
on
the
southeast side.
Herc's main camera, and
on
then
the
sat 2 is
you see it tending to the southeast side of the
I think basically what people are saying is that channel 1 is going down. Yeah. That's Herc, is that right, or no?
So if we just do,
I think that one's going down. So they were asking if we could
start.
And
maybe that means you might have to back up or bring Atalanta towards you.
Typically leave 1 and 2 as Herc.
Yeah, so
and Atalanta, and then we can only change 3, really.
Did we get this?
But I'm happy
do we know what PC that's on?
3. It's not on PC 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's not on PC 1, 2, 3, or 4. Jacob, do you know what PC it's on?
Are you muted?
You have to force talk the pilot.
It was on PC4.
Can you call Dave, because I think he wanted to talk to you about Norbit stuff.
Yes. Let me call Dave and figure it out.
Dang it.
You could, never mind.
It was on PC4 last night. But no, apparently.
But you could pull it up on your far right screen if you put DP somewhere else. So nav station, if you put Rosproc on Mon right, that way I still have control of it, but you can see it. And then just put DP on maybe your HYPACK screen so we don't lose sight of the DP. Does that work for you temporarily as we sort out the video stuff? Okay. Yes. We are doing a like Norbit approach. It's not a full Norbit survey, but we're doing a Norbit kind of. We are recording Norbit right now.
And if you're following along online and you'd like to chat with us, come join us on nautiluslive.org. So that's where you can.
Yeah, you got it there on the far right.
We can answer your questions.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, I'm going to do a rotation here.
Roger, yeah. As long as you got the scope for it with Atalanta. Yeah, it could be that's the issue, but for now we'll just kind of toggle back and forth.
We're going to do a Norbit survey at 50 meters, kind of spin around, see if we see anything, and then take it from there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well then, do you want me to put this on PC4, or do you know? Okay.
That'd be great.
Give me a second.
Come back
Frank, do you think you'd got it? We'll ask you. We'll ask later.
Okay, it's on PC4 now. Yes, you're correct. That's fine. I won't. Yeah, you're good. So there you go, pilot. You've got it up on your screen now.
Just like a lump of mud.
Sorry for all that. There was just I couldn't remember what Dave had said he wanted to do before the Norbit survey, so, and I can't remember if it was important or not related to broadcasting.
A little one.
So this is looking moundy. Yeah, Larry?
Yeah, well, we're trying to get a display up here, so.
Oh, okay. Looking moundy. You should, on your top, it should be Herc Rosproc. Rosproc?
Is that what you're trying?
If you have a button for Rosproc.
Do you have a button for Rosproc? Rosproc. I do. I can try one.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. Thank you.
There we go.
It's running.
It's like, where is Rennie's voice coming from?
I'm in my bunk.
Oh yeah, we had a question from a viewer asking, have there been any discovered wrecks of planes in Iron Bottom Sound?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not by us yet.
Not by us yet.
On this cruise. Yeah, okay, so that's, I mean, that is the mound.
Yeah.
I can measure, if the target for Drix was just the general mound, then that's kind of what we're seeing.
Yeah, there seemed to have been, if I remember the display, there seemed to be something somewhat orthogonal to it, but it wasn't terribly convincing.
Okay.
We may want to just take a, if we can parallel the south east face of the slope. Just take one run.
That's cool.
With Norbit.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Dang.
Parallel the southeast.
That's awesome.
How did he set that up?
I don't know. It's an open source hardware or software that he's just been messing with.
Sorry, pilot. So, Larry, paralleling the southeast, what do you mean by that?
Well, you have you're at the top of the mound now.
Yes.
It goes down to the southeast, right?
Yes.
So I'm just trying to see if we can take a run. I don't know what our range is on the Norbit right now. We're getting a 150 meter swath or something.
Sure,
like that.
let's take a look. I can measure that real quick. Yeah, almost 200.
Almost 200.
180 is safe.
If you can show me that on the from where the vehicle is. But what I'd like to do is cover the insular slope in essence.
So, yeah, okay, so this is the southeast slope here on the Norbit right here, right?
Yep.
Do you want to cover this side or?
No.
Okay.
It would be on this side, but do we have the entire mound covered and up to that depression kind of we see? You're not seeing on the HYPACK base map, so.
That depression, yeah, that was from Inkfish data. I don't know, but did you see that in yours as well? It might be an artifact. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I'm not believing that. I was just giving that as a landmark for how far I'd like to cover on the slope.
Well, yeah, if we want to move the ship in any direction, we can call that in and then kind of do a sweep from there as well.
Yeah.
So which direction would you like?
I would like a line that runs northeast southwest.
Northeast southwest.
Yeah, along basically.
They want to go look at the hole?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll maintain this altitude. We'll go up to the northeast. We'll start up there. Yeah. So why don't you have Atalanta just move in that direction, and then we can drive with Herc, and we'll still get our Norbit swath kind of in that direction. So we'll have the pilot face northeast-ish along the stripe of this slope.
Exactly.
And we'll drive up.
Right. And I don't expect we'll see anything, but I just.
Yeah, no, we're here.
Taking the time to get here, we might as well.
Yeah.
I'll come back towards you. Maybe we can walk together. Get me centered up in your camera view.
Yeah.
Tess, apparently the Zoomy fan club is representing. We've got a comment calling you the A-team.
And Rennie, should we stay at this altitude then?
Yeah, this is the 50-meter altitude gives us the best swath width. We tried to go up to 75, which is kind of like the edge of our
noisy,
DVL, and it brings the frequency attenuates a bit, and it brings the swath width back in actually.
Okay.
So we think 50 is actually ending up being pretty optimal.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is good because we've been doing wrecks at that altitude as well.
Okay. Am I stretching you out, Mike?
It looks like we have some slack in it. Jacob, if we can get these down to the 10-meter grids on the high pack.
And then Larry, the other target we have for Duncan, the original one, was
So we
that
got a tiny bit of move.
was that dubious or?
Huh.
Yes, I don't think that was in the,
I saw
in the
that,
mix
yeah.
for now. It's quite far away from here.
It's a bit farther west, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wasn't sure. I was confirming that was not part of our plan for this dive.
Right.
And then our question then from here, after we fully interrogate this, will be our
determine if it's a
capabilities
hole
to
or a
tow
pit.
south.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And so once we see what that looks like, I think the kind of
ditch, a
guideline
hole,
will
or a
be
pit.
if it'll take 3 hours or more, we should pull the vehicle.
Okay.
If not, and
probably a
really
scour.
leave it up to you and the pilots.
Roger, yeah. And then once we're down there, it looks like the rest of that path is doable because it's kind of aft of what the ship's general strike will be. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so everybody's on the same page. Thank you, Larry.
You're welcome, Rennie.
So, just to get our viewers on the same page here, what was the final decision here? Are we doing a swath?
Yeah, we're just going to extend this Norbit survey a slight bit to the northeast, just to cover the entire mound feature. I don't suspect there'll be anything there, but again, we've spent this time getting here. We might as well take a close look. I killed myself if...
We've been surprised before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the next time around somebody
screen.
comes and said, oh, it was just...
Yeah.
No,
It's like the story of the bell.
Right.
It's
Exactly,
like, we might as well check, and then there it was.
For that previously unknown wreck that we just dove on based on Drix target, it was interesting because many of the Drix
Coming up
targets have
on
been kind of,
tether.
smaller. So rather than do a full sweep, we just caught the edge of it, and it ended up being the stern. And we had stopped right there, and I was like, oh, don't worry about a sweep. We'll just go do a straight line. We'll go over it that way. We don't have to like gather messy data and sort it out later. And it just kept going. I thought it was going to be a chunk, and I was like, oh, this is it was 115 meters long. That was a really fun way to discover it in real time, is to watch the Norbit kind of just expose it like that.
I remember waking up and suddenly seeing, when I went to sleep, it was empty, and when I came back, there was an entire ship worth of Norbit data.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Oh, I don't know.
So
I haven't heard anything.
I'm still debating, Rennie, whether this stretch color map is more effective or not.
Oh, you're talking about for the Drix?
No.
Oh, for this.
For this.
Yeah, I have to look. I haven't messed around too much with color maps in this.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first time we've actually had that kind of ring. In the past, we've just had a gold color map.
Yeah, so the gold is typically it's the intensity, but it's also what that's just the raw points.
Yeah, it's just what's
then
coming
only,
in.
only the grid.
Right, but the grid has always been. Maybe we've just never had the depth range.
May have been, yeah.
The grid has always been just blue. And again,
see.
it may be the depth range, but I think once we get, I think it's when we're spinning that it gets confusing. I think once we're seeing it.
Oh, you know what it may have been is it could have been collecting data in the water column and so you were only seeing the blue. Yeah. So let me see if I have a color map, color transformer. That's okay. So that's for the.
If you have the color map Virides, that is my all-time favorite, because it's perceptually uniform.
So I can do that as just gold, but that
No,
doesn't.
leave it with the rainbow.
Yeah, I'll talk with K2 and see about color maps in here. I usually prefer a 1 or 2 color ramp. The rainbow's all right, but sometimes it's deceiving and it makes you see things that aren't there.
Exactly, that's what I was.
Yeah.
And especially for water column, people, you know, I remember I was talking with someone and they're like, "Oh, green is seeps," and I was like, "That's not true at all. It's it haven't, you know, it's the intensity, and red could be seeps as well, you know. It's the difference." So I like sepia or just black and white color ramp on that.
Did you call it a color ramp?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a cool. Hadn't heard that terminology for that before.
Starting to stretch out.
Yeah. I'm dragging a little bit.
Yep.
Ooh, okay, we have a good question because I think I might know the answer, but Larry would answer it better than me. How many Drixes, I'm not sure what the plural of Drix is.
Actually, that's a good question. We debate that all the time.
Do you really?
Drixes, Dryces.
Dryces, ooh.
Drindoses.
Drix.
But go ahead. How many Drixes?
How many
does it take to
can operate at one time?
Oh, it's a great question.
Right.
I can tell you how many we've operated simultaneous, and we've gotten to 2. We take things
in twos.
Yeah, and I think NOAA has now bought 2 Drixes that they plan to operate simultaneously from a mothership or from shore. Wow. And I think eventually they'd like to bring that up to a number like 4. There's really no reason you can't go on forever, but it's a question of how many people it takes to operate a vehicle, or how many vehicles a team. I think we feel safely that a team of 2 people can operate 2 Drixes.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe with a third kind of floater there.
And that's per watch cycle, I imagine.
Per watch cycle, yeah.
So if you're doing...
And so if you think about that, the NOAA is looking at the Drixes to replace their manned survey launches. They have these survey launches that go out and do the same kind of mapping that Drixa do, but they'll have 2 or 3 people on each launch, and it'll only work
there's
8 or 12-hour day.
Look at.
And then it has to, so they don't operate 24 hours a day. And so if you have the same number of people operating Drix as you do a single launch, well, you've saved that, you gain that extra 12 hours of a day. But we're really trying to gain as much efficiency as we can. And so if you can have 2 or 3 people operating 2 Drixes.
What are we looking at?
A squid.
It's a tiny... Wait, is it tiny? It's adorable.
Is it a squid, or is it... What is?
It's a squid. It's a glass squid.
Another glass squid.
Galiteuthis.
Oh, Galiteuthis.
So if you can have 2 or 3 people operating 2 Drixes 24 hours a day, then you've really gained some efficiency.
How many glass squids could... How many Drixes does it take to find a glass squid?
Their body cavity is filled with ammonia to help them provide the buoyancy, so they might actually have a slight, density difference, like in super high resolution. Maybe you could detect that, like a swim bladder. Not the same difference, obviously, as an air pocket, but
we used to track vampire squid with a multi-beam. That's how we'd find them.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Little Tritech 720 IS on the front of the vehicle.
Wow.
Forward facing?
Forward facing, yeah. You'd see them out in the distance, and we'd come in on them.
Tess, do you think we can see that tail up close?
While we wait for the ship, some nice.
You can start to see the chromatophores changing color, going from totally clear to the pockets of color. Then I feel like you've probably flown some of my all-time favorite footage, you know? Like, as you tell these stories, I'm like, I think I've seen that, and I loved it, and you flew it.
What's the size of that? Give us a sense of dimension on that.
Lasers on it.
Well, I don't know if I want to.
It's probably 30 centimeters roundabout.
30 centimeters. Okay,
Wow.
that's pretty good. Yeah.
I can't
Our
believe
lighting
you can
is
see
set
those
up for
chromatophores
shipwrecks,
changing.
so I'm trying to keep it in.
I bet it's a little bit confused about how bright.
There we go.
Whoa.
This sweep is helping us anyway. With the Norbit, we can start to see northward.
That's so beautiful.
Incredible.
Great work, Tess. Great work, Ben.
Tess, that's the most back little
little bouncy
squid.
Well, it's going to make it hard to eat calamari tonight.
Oh, that y'all's flying and focus, this team in the front row, 10 out of 10. Wow.
He's trying to get away from you.
Yeah,
that's smart.
It's a little bit like, excuse you, you're incredibly bright. I like my dark home. What are you doing? Are you a predator?
Stop.
Wow. Seeing how it moves at the back.
Guess I could turn my gain down too.
We've seen several of these little glass squids on our wreck dives. Cockatoo squid. You can see why.
Oh, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah,
I don't think that's cute.
Yeah, suddenly it looks angry.
I feel like you see the cockatoo now.
What is going on? And then the story changes, and suddenly I'm concerned.
The screenshot.
So
So iridescent.
whenever everyone's ready, we've completed our move.
Hate to be that guy.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, very good.
Bye,
Thank you,
glass
guys.
squid.
Thanks to the Galiteuthis.
Okay.
We will see you. Not the end of my tether. I'll back
All
away
right.
from him, so he's
So you could back up from there if you can't turn around.
We are. It's not a hole. It's a
It's just an artifact. Yeah.
an artifact. So you maybe come up over here a little bit, and then we'll just pass right over.
Okay.
To the southwest.
Make a little rotation.
Everyone's comments
Thanks,
are
Mike.
fantastic about its face.
Did they like its face?
They said things like, that view with its face thing.
You're
and called them
just
tassel
so you know
bits.
you're tight on tether.
I'm trying to get over there.
Yeah, you just want to.
You can back up if that helps you.
I'm going to drive towards.
Okay, roger.
I'm
Just
100%. Here we go.
Here it comes.
Roger.
Okay, coming up.
Yeah, I would say just come a little north of Atlanta, and then we'll just do that southwest pass.
Okay, there we go.
There's a question about if we keep a gallery or a log of the biology you find, and the answer is distinctly yes. Noel is our data, is it data logger? Is that your official role?
That's the seat is
The
usually
seat.
referred to as the data logger.
So,
but yeah, we keep records of things that are seen. And then biology, we're obviously this dive we're focusing on archaeological observations, taking screen grabs as we go too of all the feeds that you're seeing on Hercules, so that at the end of the dive we have reports of kind of all the main findings. You know, these dives we're down for 12, 16 to 60 plus hours if you're on this expedition. That's a lot of video footage to try to go back and figure out what happened. So keeping good records and noting what's going on is an important part of making sure that this data is useful later on, else it just disappears into the abyss of the cloud
Of
infrastructure.
time
Yeah, so you have to know what happened when and have good records of that.
Yeah, I'm out.
that's incredible. So there was just, Larry, so that you see this before I forget to share it with you, someone thanked you and said that they could listen to you talk about Drix-identified. They had an interesting spelling all day. And then I love sail drone and these USV texts. Booyah answer, thanks Astro Bro as well, which I think is me.
Is it on some auto scaling?
That was very informative, they say.
So yeah, once we go to the full extent of
if there's like a check mark on one
the
of the
tether
Yeah,
to the
Rennie, I
north,
think that
that would probably
It seems like it's auto scaling.
satisfy our.
yeah,
Maybe, yeah.
I think we've convinced ourselves.
Coming up tight.
Yeah. So which direction would you like to go from here to?
Well, we're going to basically just west to south, and I leave that to you guys to figure out how you want to get there, and think you get the most comfortable configuration, and see if we can tow, and if not, we'll have to recover the vehicle.
Yeah. So I think you guys are set up for that. As far as what a tow mode would be going south, Jacob, if you can zoom out and go to that second target on the dive plan. That's up to you, Larry. I mean, I think.
I didn't hear that, Jacob.
Did you want to go southwest over this mound, or I mean, I'm pretty confident that.
No,
yeah.
I think you go whatever is the most efficient way for you to.
Yeah.
From line.
So I'm going to change this survey then to a transit. And I will still record. Yeah, so we'll see how fast we can go. It's quite far away. Yeah. What is the? It should be the Haber.
2.4 nautical miles, something like that. 2.3 nautical miles.
Thanks, Mike. I've been really sloppy with my altitude. You're catching it.
No, you're
Should be that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the next target is.
Is it in that sheet that you have up there?
Yeah, so it's 2.2 nautical miles. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I don't know that we're going to be able to make a knot at this orientation, but give it a shot to start at 0.5 and then maybe 0.8, and then yeah. You can, I mean, you could request a knot and see if they're able to, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well, let's see how they configure it and how it looks. Yeah.
Yep, 0.8 seems.
Yeah, because if they make a half knot, it's going to be 4.
Well, and then the time to flip over.
Hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. That's what I told them. Okay.
We're saying anything over 3 hours, we'll pull the
and
ROVs and then put them down again.
Yeah. So we'll see what speed they can make and.
Understood.
Yeah. You can come out of.
Okay, to let the folks out there know what's happening.
You can rotate.
We're going to be proceeding to our next target, which is about 2.4 nautical miles from here.
I'm going to come up just a bit.
We're going to see if we can tow at a reasonable speed without recovering the vehicles. And if we can't, then we'll pull the vehicles and steam over to the site. And the next site is a purported location for the Japanese destroyer Ayanami. And if that's the case, that would be if it is there, it'll be the 3rd Japanese destroyer that we got to survey.
Is this one that's been surveyed before, or?
It was surveyed in 1992 by Dr. Ballard, and Frank has some sketches that his colleague Chuck made of what it looks like.
Wow.
The problem with those surveys is that we have not had locations for the Japanese wrecks they found, but this one we're hoping Frank got for us. And
Chuck Haberline was the command's representative. Back then we were known as Naval Historical Center. And he came out with Ballard to Guadalcanal and Midway. And Chuck was, let's just say, very thorough in his note-taking.
3 hours at 0.8?
He provided some context from his notes that he still has, and so we were able to come across Yodachi and he also did a drawing of that one, and so we were able to compare
Yeah.
what they saw in 92 versus what we saw, which was very different, you know, with the corrosion and deterioration of the wreck. So
And the
he also has one of Ayanami that we have here in front of us, so we'll be able to compare that if we come across her wreck.
And the encouraging thing is that the position that Chuck gave us for
spot on.
was indeed where we found it.
And that took 2 dives,
we had a unknown target at the position that Chuck gave us.
Incredible. So that's just meshing all of our routes to find it. Historical route of having a note on what positions we're at, and Drix finding a target that's at that position, and all of it coming together.
And there's never a guarantee, but that gives us a little more confidence that we'll find something there.
It pulled off to return to these incredible historical heritage sites. Larry, if you want, I have a follow-up question from from a viewer about Drix. This viewer was saying that Drix doesn't have, like earlier we were talking about Drix not having a lot of clarity in its sonar mapping. If this is the case, what's the major technological hurdle for increasing the clarity of Drix mapping from the surface?
There's no technological hurdle, it's physics.
Yeah.
It's just that as you get further away, the beams expand. And so the only way you can turn around and get higher resolution, well, there is a way. You can build a much larger sonar array, and that'll give you some increased spatial resolution. But a small vehicle like Drix can't carry a large sonar array. We're carrying the largest one we possibly can for a vehicle that size. The Nautilus carries a much larger sonar array, but that's even lower frequency because that's meant for even deeper water. So there's usually
what? It's meant for what?
Even deeper water.
Oh,
so
deeper water.
So the Nautilus system can go to 5,000, 6,000 meters. And so there's that fundamental problem of physics that you can't overcome the trade-off between higher frequency. The higher the frequency, the less far the sound will travel. It's attenuated, we call it. So if you want to get that high resolution, short wavelengths that you need for the beautiful imagery we get from the Norbit, you need to get very close to the bottom.
Which naturally means you're seeing less of the seafloor.
You're seeing much less of the seafloor. Here we're doing, with the Norbit, we were getting about 150, maybe 200 meter swath at a given time. With the Drix on the surface, we're getting 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, depending on the water depth, swath all at once. So we're covering so much more area.
Yeah.
So it's a fundamental trade-off that we always face with sonar systems.
Absolutely. I suppose another solution is what we already talked about, which is just more Drix, more Drixies, more...
No, it wouldn't increase because every one of them will be constrained the same way. We can cover more ground, we can go slower, we can put more pings down, all that helps, but you're not going to change the fundamental lateral resolution capability.
So it increases the speed at which you have the map, but I get now how we're not actually getting a different resolution.
Right. Yeah, and so there are a way we could potentially do this, but again, it's still, you can have it's still slow. You can have an autonomous underwater vehicle, as opposed to the ROV goes extremely slow. We can get an autonomous underwater vehicle that maybe will move at 3 knots or 4 knots underwater, so a lot faster than the ROV, and that can be close to the bottom, but it still won't cover a larger range.
I think this is a really interesting conversation that summarizes how the more types of tools you have, the better off you are for adapting to all these different types of situations, right? Wow.
And again, there are always trade-offs because these systems are so expensive. None of them are cheap.
Right.
And so it's one thing to say, well, if I have this mission, what's the ideal suite of equipment I would bring, versus saying, this is what I have, how do I optimally use what I have? And it's another trade-off that you have to face all the time.
How much does it cost to, I guess, purchase or create Drix?
Yeah, so, you know, I would say that to purchase a Drix, it depends on what it's equipped with, but it'll be in the range of $2 to $3 million. You think about if you can match the capability and speed of something like the research vessel. If you think about a research vessel, a modern version of the Nautilus would cost $200 million.
Oh my
and
gosh.
so one of the concepts is you have a research vessel, and then you can, like I call it the mothership and the little ducklings, so that things like Drix or other vehicles like that can keep up along the side, and then you're really increasing the swath, the coverage. Now, none of that overcomes the resolution problem, but
that's physics.
Yeah, we're in a unique situation of trying to find relatively small targets on the seafloor for manifest mapping of the seafloor. Remember, only 26% of the ocean bottom has been mapped. That's really remarkable to think about the fact that you're the astronomer. Mars, the moon, they've all been mapped to meter resolution or 10-meter resolution.
Yeah.
And yet our own planet has only 26% of its seafloor map. And that's really, to me, a very scary concept.
To me, I think it's scary, but it's also incredibly exciting. I think there's a kind of a misconception that everything has been discovered in science and that we're just reaching the edge. And I think that is kind of the opposite in astronomy, but especially the opposite here in ocean science, especially
so we
mapping.
We started to have this discussion last watch, and we got cut off because something
exciting
came up.
happened.
Yeah, which is wonderful. I'd much rather have our discussions cut off for some exciting discovery. But one of the things I've always wondered, it goes back to, so what's a Mars mission cost typically? Do you have any idea?
Oh, I don't have it off the top of my head.
Well, it's on the order of $2 billion, $3 billion for a Mars mission. And how many Mars missions have we had? Many of them to map
Mars.
To map Mars.
Yeah.
And we've estimated that we could map the entire Earth's ocean for maybe $3 to $5 billion.
Wow.
And on one side you say, well, who would ever spend $3 to $5 billion to map the seafloor? But we're willing to spend $2 to $3 billion to map Mars multiple times over. So, so one time we got feet and meters wrong, and so we did it again.
Yeah.
And why? I just don't understand why we're not willing to put that same
inertia, energy, money
into mapping our own planet.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think it's a very, very and I love the idea of mapping Mars. I don't want to take anything away from that.
It's both.
I just think we owe it to our own planet too to have that same level of knowledge. And I'll be very cynical and say that I think it's a very, very effective outreach effort on the part of NASA that really sells what we were talking about last night, the mystery and intrigue of space, when there's just the same mystery and just the same unknowns right here.
I mean, there's a reason I do astronomy and now I'm studying the ocean. When we were first doing this, everyone had questions for me about why I was here. And truly to me, it's the exact same. It's an unknown. It's an unknown with really complicated problem-solving requirements where you can't go to these places as easily. That's true. You're still looking on a sphere and trying to find things in maps that are, surprise targets.
And I'll contend that from a technological perspective, the challenges are much greater in deep sea exploration than they are in space exploration. It's a much, much harsher environment, given the pressure.
Yeah. I think that the other thing is that our planet is rapidly changing, right? I think mapping our planet and our seafloor now is incredibly important. So it makes me incredibly proud and just to be a part of that and to see what this incredible team has been able to do and the history that we've been able to kind of delve into quite literally and understand. We don't want to lose this history before we have explored it. So if you are just now following along with us, welcome. We are currently, well, we were exploring a Drix target, so our surface vehicle. We determined that that target was a sea mound of some sort. So we're now on our way, kind of pointing towards another of these targets, and we'll determine if we want to keep the remotely operated vehicles in the water as we travel to that new site, or if we are going to pull them out of the water, and that way we can move a lot quicker to get to the next site. And if you want to see what happens when we do find some incredible history, check out EV Nautilus on YouTube. We have a highlight that just came out an hour or two ago, exploring the USS Northampton from just earlier in this expedition in the Solomon Islands. So come join, stick around. Larry, I think someone here put it very well and said it's outer space versus inner space. How deep are we going? I think this is me learning how to read these things. It looks like, well, I don't know what units are. 1142, our depth. We'll have to see what that, but these tend to not be incredibly deep missions. The order of less than 1,000 meters or so. So if you have any questions and you're following along on YouTube, come to nautiluslive.org. That's where you can ask us questions, send us comments, especially as I think we're going to be in some blue water. So now is a good moment to ask what comes to mind.
Jacob?
He's working out. There's a problem with the ship course.
Some questions coming in here. These are great questions. How long does it take to deploy or recover ROVs? It depends on a couple things, especially how deep your ROVs are in the sea. So if you're ascending and then getting them on deck, and then the pilots have a bunch of checks to do, and all of that, it can take a lot longer. Most recently, I think our ROVs were out of the water for a couple hours, but that also included some transit time from one target to the next, so very much depends on that.
Jeez.
I saw a comment from one of the members of the Drix team. Their mom is watching, so I'll make sure to pass that along. The Drix team is incredible. Some of them are here, like we're lucky enough to have Larry with us in our back row here as our science lead, but a lot of the Drix team is also now on shore. There's a incredible temporary mission control that's effectively out of a...
Staying in a luxury hotel.
It's so hard. It's so hard doing science.
No, it's not such an easy duty. They're working 24 hours a day.
Genuinely, I witnessed it. And when they're not necessarily on watch, they're often doing things.
Sleeping. They're trying to sleep.
Yeah,
too,
sleeping.
And maintaining the vehicle. The vehicle will come back in Saturday. Is that tomorrow?
Today is, yeah.
So it'll come back in tomorrow for a regular fueling and
wow.
And
yeah.
Just regular maintenance. It's been behaving wonderfully, which is again a credit to this team because
truly
we did have a very serious problem in Guam with the engine corroding, and
wow.
and a team had to go out there and basically remove the engine, order a new engine, and replace the engine. And
wow!
They
all
did all
in
that.
Guam.
Yeah, they did all that in less than optimal circumstances, and it all worked. I mean, really, wow. I was so impressed with them.
It was such a wonderful thing to first come and fly in mid-expedition and get to just be a fly on the wall learning about that. And one of my favorite facts is that they have Drix set up. So when it comes in, it's actually right next to the hotel where mission control is set up for Drix. And they were trying to give me instructions, and one of them, and for context, much taller than me, was like, "You just hop the fence." And so I went to try and hop the fence and failed to hop the fence in time to meet Drix. So
there is a way to walk around.
I learned that when I walked around just in time to see Drix, the orange ship on the horizon, disappearing. And so, interesting comment or question here. Most of these ships sank holding live ammunition. Is it possible the exploration will cause any detonations from unexploded?
Frank, do you want to take that one? Or?
Yes, these ships did sink with ammunition aboard, and
we've seen
unexploded ordnance has been noted in our dives from torpedoes, projectiles, depth charges. When we approve plans for surveys like this, they are for non-invasive purposes, and that's one of the reasons why, because we don't want to start poking around wreckage where there might be something that that's unexploded ordnance that's been on the bottom of the ocean for over 80 years. It's deteriorated, and so we're very careful of that. Our pilots are very skillful in maneuvering around such things, and we all keep our eyes open for such things.
And what's important with this too is these are heritage sites. We are no touching, no
correct.
Interactions.
They're also war graves.
Exactly. So we're trying to be as respectful and careful simultaneously as possible.
Correct.
Thank you.
That's another reason why we are very careful to keep the location of these graves completely
They're recorded, but they
internal.
are not released publicly.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You know,
Shout out to the pilots who have been recovering and then doing all the work to get these vehicles ready to go back in the water, and then getting them back in the water and then continuing to drive them. I feel like the time for sleep here has been becoming less and less. So we're extra grateful for all their hard work. But in the meantime, if anyone has any additional questions, send them our way. We're happy to answer them. In fact, I think we have one for Frank if you're interested. When you guys explored the Yorktown, did you find the destroyer Haman nearby?
No, we did not. I believe Larry said that there was a possible, or not Larry, Daniel, one of them had said there was they had a possible contact, but we were not able to explore it. So no, we've not found the Hammond yet.
Interesting. With some of these wrecks, is it possible that over the last 80 years, sediment has buried some of them, making them hard or impossible to find?
So far, we've seen where they've plowed into the ocean bottom, and obviously some of them is submerged under the mud line, but we have not come across one that has been totally submerged. I suppose it's possible some of the smaller ones, like the PT boats and things, possibly could over time, but you know, the ones we've seen, no, we have not seen one that was totally buried up. Even the aircraft carriers off Midway, even though they had hit pretty hard at the bottom, they were still well above the mud line. So
wow.
In some cases, the mud line was kind of at the ship's water line.
Wow.
So,
and in terms of sedimentation from above,
yeah.
there is sedimentation constantly. The marine snow is
Yeah,
stuff like that, but that's not enough.
We noted silt on the deck and things like that, yeah, but not enough to cover it totally. You also have currents that are, you know, kind of scouring the area too, so kind of keeps it clear.
Wow, what a great answer. Let's see if there are some others. Any luck finding Jarvis?
We haven't really looked for Jarvis yet, so.
All right. Here's kind of a follow-up question to what we were talking about before with deterioration and things. Is there any effort to preserve these wrecks from further deterioration? And I would add to that, what do we do to prevent potential detonation of unexploded ordnance on the floor?
We leave it alone. No, we have no, our plan is to basically let nature take its course. Sometimes, you know, these are delicate structures now, and sometimes if you start poking around, you may actually cause a even worse situation. So we're here to note the condition, and for those that were surveyed in '92, note how deterioration has progressed on them.
As the ammunition deteriorates over time, will they eventually explode, or are there other routes that they can
We
move?
don't know the answer to that.
Wow.
I think during our watch last night, a similar question had come up, and when you fly into Honiara, when you come into the immigration section before they stamp your passport and everything, there is a warning banner posted about if you're walking in the jungles or off, you know, known trails and things, to be very careful, because again, this was a very strongly contested piece of real estate during World War II, and lots of weaponry.
Okay. Just got an update from Larry that we're going to pull the vehicle, so we're going to let them focus for a second here.
Yep.
Oh. There are some lovely comments coming in, so thank you for that. Someone saying they're up late doing some much less intensive research of their own. They thanked us for being such good company. Thank you all for joining us on our journey out here. And I've made some notes of some other really interesting questions, so we will come back to those when our team is ready to ask some questions, but they're definitely in focus mode right now, so we're going to let them focus. Around 15 minutes ago, someone asked how long it takes to recover and then deploy the ROVs, and I think you're going to get an answer to that very soon, since we are doing exactly that. So we'll be recovering the ROVs. You'll get a sense of what that looks like on deck, and then doing some maintenance that happens every time when these ROVs come back to the surface, and then they'll be going back once we've transited to our next location, where we can do our next dive on a Drix target. Sometimes nice to see some of the same names coming in, so thanks for those who are watching for a long time. It's nice to know that you're up with us. Don't worry too much about the dive getting cut short. The nice thing about this is that we are likely going to be going and diving again once we get to the next location. So it will be faster.
And we'll get there quicker.
Exactly. Yeah. So in a way,
that was the trade-off, the 3-hour trade-off.
Yeah, exactly. So how much time are we saving by pulling the robots?
Well, we're saving. It would have taken us 4 or 5 hours if we had tried to pull them, and it was difficult to do. So it's dangerous and.
Right. So instead, we're doing 3 hours of taking the robots out of the water, moving
leaving.
and then putting them back in.
Right, exactly.
Great. And you'll get to see all of our incredible pilots being engineers as well once the robots are getting back on deck. I've been enjoying learning from them today. Cool question. How long does it take to get to where you want to go? Is it different each time? Yes, absolutely. It depends on how far away our next targets on the seafloor are. We're lucky in that most of our targets are a lot closer than they can sometimes be, just because this is...
Current picked up too.
We're surrounded on 3
7.7 knots.
sides by Savo Island and Solomon Islands, and because of those 3 land masses, there's always land in sight, which means there's not as far of a transit that we'd ever have to go to see, try and find some of these wrecks. And that's been also interesting because personnel transfers are a lot easier. Usually you'll get on the Nautilus and then be much further away from land. You would not be seeing land every time you're looking around on them. And it would also take a lot longer to go back from. So you would typically not have the flexibility that we've had, especially in working with Drix and having Drix move from being on Nautilus to on shore, where maintenance and the control room. And yeah, welcome to those of you who just joined. We're currently actually ascending with our ROVs to the surface because our next location that we want to search for, one of our marked Drix targets, it's gonna take about 3 hours if we bring our robots out of the water and then transit to the location and then bring them back down to the seafloor. And that saves us about 2 hours, and it's also a lot safer, just because we're trying to move and in the current conditions with the littoral currents. We want to make sure that we can actually make it to those locations safely and are not getting pulled in different directions. So welcome to our ascent. Do you go to different places each time, or do you revisit some of the old places? I think that's a fun one because some of these have not been visited for a very long time. Robert Ballard is joined for this expedition in person, and he led a lot of the original discoveries and expeditions to find these. So, but while on the expedition, we do occasionally go down to the same site, especially if we needed to bring the robots or remotely operated vehicles up, and then didn't have time to complete those dives. We're doing some what's called photogrammetry, which I learned from this watch team a couple days ago. We're talking about effectively creating not only a 3-dimensional model of these wreck sites, but also having the photos mapped to the correct location. So it means it almost reduces the need to, or the desire, honestly, to try and return to these places if you can learn and understand them with models that already exist in the 3-dimensional models, which would be really incredible.
I thought it was quite poetic myself.
What was poetic?
Tessa sneeze.
Some questions here coming in, which are great. If we miss a dive, will the future dive footage be available later, or is it only highlight reels? The highlight reels are there, but is also an archival footage channel, so you can always follow and relive some of these dives
Yeah,
with us.
the full recordings are going to be shared on YouTube, and they're always publicly available, but it often takes a while to get all the footage up there, so we would expect all these dives to be up there within a month or so.
Absolutely. Thank you, Noel. That was great. Noel, do you know how much tension or weight is on the winch spool or on the tether when these ROVs are ascending? Do you know how much tension? Oh, okay. It looks like we're having some focus, so we'll let our team focus extra hard.
Yeah, sorry, Locke, 1 second.
one of our viewers said that Dan mentioned about 1,200 tons earlier. So don't quote us on that, but that might be a good estimate. Someone replied, I hope you mean 1,200 pounds. I think that is a much better ballpark than 1,200 tons, but yeah, we'll have to get a real number on that later. An update is that we're paused here at about 780 meters below, just because our winch is having some connection or some other kind of technical issues. So we are paused here before pulling up all the way.